Lviv Oblast, Ukraine. Ihor and Andrii's helicopters flew deep into enemy territory at dawn and under fog. We came from the sea, flying at altitudes less than 10 meters, to avoid detection by the Russian defenses, which is extremely dangerous because you can hit power lines or trees, Andrii told the Daily Beast. Puffing on a cigarette, training ground near the city of Lviv, Ukrainian soldiers usually do not give their surnames for security reasons. Even though Andrii is only 22 years old, he has flown more than 30 secret missions in the world's most dangerous airspace. We were flying to Mariupol in April last year, at the height of the siege, he said. Their mission was seen as incredibly risky when first proposed, and, perhaps because it was so daring and unexpected, it worked. The Russians had besieged port city of Mariupol for weeks, trapping the determined defenders in Azovstal steelworks. With no way enter or exit city by land, the only way to supply defenders was by air. It was a death-defying infiltration that required them fly in and out of 70 miles of Russian-controlled territory, expecting to be stranded with no means of escape or resupply. The exhausted soldiers were stunned when the pilots landed. In a journey lasting less than an hour, they unloaded food and ammunition supplies and picked up wounded soldiers for landing on free Ukrainian territory. The Russians soon realized what had happened. Later, several helicopters on missions to Azovstal were shot down and the missions were cancelled. Ihor and Andrii's missions were a reminder of Ukraine's heroism under seemingly impossible circumstances and the country's determination not to leave its people behind. These decades-old, rickety-looking helicopters, many of which date back to the Soviet era, were still not supposed to fly. On first day, Russian missile armament hit Ukraine's airbases across the country, knocking most of new helicopters out of service. But the pilots were listening to America's pleas and at the last moment they moved their best asset out of harm's way. A year and a half after war, they are still fighting the Russians for control of sky. You see what we can do with these. Imagine what we can achieve with American planes or French planes. Quote, Ukrainian pilot compared to ground warfare. With its well-filmed tank battles, artillery barrages and desperate trench assaults, air warfare in Ukraine is shrouded in mystery. The Daily Beast had an exclusive opportunity to visit Ukraine's 10th Army Aviation Brigade at one of its secret training locations in western Ukraine. About 20 horses were grazing in pasture when faint hum of helicopter blades was first heard in distance. A helicopter, initially no bigger than a pinhead, appeared on horizon, the sound of its wings cutting through air growing louder as it approached. The Soviet-made Mi-8 aircraft, with its sides painted in colors of the Ukrainian flag, lay motionless on field for several minutes before landing with a